Scrappin with Sheri. We are on page 72 in our sketchbook today, and we're going back to our trip to Michigan. And today we're going to be doing the Mackinac Bridge. We were very impressed by it. My husband is an engineer, so he loved the structure of it, and I had to take all these pictures going across it to try to get the very best picture. Now, I'm using some papers from Seaside. I think that's right. Let me just check that real quick. Seaside, yes. I don't have a lot of it left, but I did have this background that I felt like would be a good option. And we did purchase a postcard that has some really pretty blue, and I like the way it looks with this. So I opted to pull that. And I've got a little bit of this stripe left, and that's what I'm going to use to make my borders here and these two little borders on the side. Now, it calls for a 1 1/4 inch border. So let's pull out our big trimmer. And I'm looking at this to see if I can get 2 strips of 1 1/4. And I can't because my paper is just a little bit too small. So what I'm going to do is split the difference here, because I just want to use this leftover piece of this that I have. So I'm going 4 1/2 for my lengths here and here. And I do have enough to do that, so that's not a problem. And then on the bottom, it's the same, 4 1/2. I'm looking at the colors I like best. I would rather keep the blues rather than those peachy colors. I should have looked at that a little more closely before I cut the last one. So we're going to have a strip here and here, and then a couple of strips down here. I'm going to flip that so those are not exactly the same. And then there's a border made with the border maker system, or a sticker, or whatever you choose to make it with. I'm going to be using this rope punch. It's called the rope chain and the border maker system. And I'm going to do this one in navy, so it'll show up against the background I've got going on. And here again, we're only going to need the 4 1/2 inch lengths to work with what we've got. I'm going to make a couple of these. Should have moved my pictures before I did this so I could just scoot it all into the garbage can. I know some of you who watch are from Australia, and I watched one Australian advisor one night, and she kept calling it the rubbish bin, and I loved that. I thought that was just so cute, the rubbish bin. It sounds so much better than the garbage can. Lots of little pieces with that one. But, man, how quickly is this one coming together? So I need these two to be 4 by 4. And when I do that on my personal trimmer, I just kind of look where the 4 inch is, and I'm centering the main focus of the picture between those. I know my picture is 4 inches tall, so all I have to do is cut those 2 sides. Here again, I loved it when we drove under and we saw Michigan's Upper Peninsula. So I'm just kind of centering that between the edge of the cut and the 4 inch. And the second one, I'm just cutting right at 4 inches. So the bulk of what we've got to do now is just lay these out. Now, they do have a mat all the way around that photo. And because I'm losing some of my white side to side, I am going to go back and add a mat to that. I wasn't really thinking about that because I thought, well, this one will work and this one will be up against that one. But I'm going to cut the white off of this and just mat it real quick in navy. I need to cut just a little bit more off of here so I can do a 4 by 4 mat there. And we'll do that with our big trimmer. And back to our navy paper. So I 4x4 on that. And that works perfectly. And then I also wanted to mat this postcard down at the bottom. And it's just it's really close. It almost fits. I'm just going to shave a hair off the top of that. Not much at all. And that's going to make that fit. Go ahead and stick this one down. And then we'll go back to building our page. I kind of get sidetracked sometimes, and I work here and there and kind of everywhere. Need a little more off that edge just to make that more uniform. And we'll stick this one. Got a little bit of a crease in my blue paper right there. I don't think it's going to show up though. All right. So we're at a point now that we can start sticking some of this stuff. And I think I want to start from the bottom and build up, just to make sure I have room for everything. So the first thing I'm going to do is line this picture or postcard up pretty much centered. And I just pulled out my 0 centering ruler for that. If I had my 13-inch mat over here, that would be a good thing to use. But this is working well. And I do need to go, oh, nope, it's right on the bottom. Wasn't paying good attention, but it is right on the very bottom. And I don't know if you saw that or not, but I just lost one of my borders behind my table. So we've got that. We need to add these stripes. And these are going to be closer to the picture, but not right up on it. So here again, I'm going to look at where I want to put that. And then I will do the other one evenly with that. And this is pretty and looking pretty quick. And then we need a piece of the border. We'll pull our silicone mat for this. About to knock the other one on the floor. And our repositionable tape. I'm going to put my tape all the way down through here. I don't tape every little crack and crevice. Just enough to make sure that it's going to stick, particularly on the edges. And this is going to go right down the side of this. Now I'm going to kind of make sure that the bulk of it is over on the blue as much as possible. I chose the rope just because of the nautical look of it. We have some cartridges that kind of are reminiscent of bridges, but when I looked at them, they were all curved on the top, and this bridge is so straight, I just felt like I didn't want to do a curved design with it. And this is already sticky, so I can put it on this outside edge over here. And I'm just trimming it off at that bottom edge of the paper. All right. Oh, and I did reach down and grab that. So we've got the bottom, we've got the title, which is our Mackinac Bridge. We've got our side borders. Our next thing is going to be to add in these 4x6 pictures that we haven't cut at all. You'll notice when I had these developed and I added the white borders on that some of them are just not very uniform. I'm not wild about it, but I'm not going to go back and change them all. I've just decided that this is something I can be okay with in my life. So this is going to be right to the outside edge of the picture, or the page. And then this one is going to be on this outside edge. And then we'll just put this one right here in the middle. Now, I do like the way my side pictures go back and give this one a side white border too. And this one is going to go right above all of that. But let's put our border strips on and our rope. So to put the border strips on, all we really have to do is just line that up. And I'm going to put that very close to my photo there, because I know that that rope, well, I don't need repo for that. I know that that rope is going to take up a good bit of space up there. Now, I had enough paper probably that I could have just cut this as a straight border instead of making the strips, but what a great way to use up some leftover scraps that you got. And then we'll just add our border right along there. Well, looky here. We've had so many pages lately, it seems, that have been pretty time consuming. This is kind of a nice change of pace. I don't know just yet what I will do for the facing page. I'm not even sure what the facing page is. I just pulled these pictures out because the orientation of them fit this layout so perfectly, and I thought, yep, that's it. We had a discussion at my last weekend event about how do you scrapbook. Do you have to do it all chronologically, or can you jump around in your book? I lay mine out chronologically, but I do jump around when I'm actually scrapbooking the pages, because some days I'm in the mood to scrapbook my people. Some days I'm in the mood to scrapbook scenery. And because I have them sorted in my power layouts box, I can just pull out whatever I want to work on that day. And it gives me the opportunity to scrapbook without feeling like I'm bored of a subject. All right, there we go. Now, how pretty is that? And that is our sketch page 72 in our book. We used the Seaside collection for that, and the rope chain border maker cartridge, and this page is complete. I don't need any embellishments. I think it speaks for itself. So we are done. And until I see you next time, happy scrapping.